Did you know the US wasn't an ally in World War I? It was an associate, and that slight label change forever altered the course of history. Hold on a second. What do you mean, an associate? Well, said the Council on Foreign Relations, that's exactly what we mean. Why do you think that instead of subsidies, the US only offered loans? Because it wasn't entering the war with territorial or colonial ambitions. According to the Survey of American Foreign Relations 1928, the subsidizer, or the country providing the subsidies, has the main say in how the spoils of victory are divvied up. Following this, if the US's loans had been in any way related to subsidies, then the US would have been interested in the land or money that were won during World War I. But, argued the survey, America's sole interest in the war in Europe was to protect Europe's sovereign rights from an aggressor. Once those rights were secured, how the spoils were going to be divided was Europe's business, while the US negotiated a separate peace treaty with Germany. That separate peace treaty, signed in Berlin on August 25, 1921, was the final nail in the coffin that there was no alliance between the US and its associates in World War I. And if the US was not an ally but an associate, that meant that once the war was over, the loans the US had extended to the Allies to continue purchasing arms when their own finances had dried up would not be forgiven, and neither would the rehabilitation assistance during the Reconstruction years. The renowned British economist John Maynard Keynes predicted that neither Germany nor the Allies would be able to repay their debts. The result would be a breakdown in world trade and investment. A new era of global hostility would be born, its antagonisms exacerbated by defaults on international investments, specifically on these intergovernmental debts. That was episode 8 of this series on Super Imperialism, the Economic Strategy of American Empire, by Professor and economist Michael Hudson. If you're interested in finding out how pork almost caused a U.S. financial crisis, and what this all has to do with the inter-ally debts, stay tuned for Part 9.